Try that again. I was distracted. Started my show about 10 minutes ago. Vibe, good way I wanted to start my day. It's kind of tough doing this show, and I don't know if anyone understands. Um, but when you put yourself out there, you're not controlling your environment. Letting people into my morning, letting people available to say negative things or to distract me or to have internet issues or connection issues or get my day off started off on the wrong foot. And I think part of the goodness of me doing this show, since it exposes me to the elements that are outside, very in a mass way, it's given me a lot of practice handling some of the ups and downs, the little challenges, the little things, the technical glitches, the rude comments, the spilled coffees, if you will, of the world. And it's allowed me to get a lot of practice dealing with a lot of stuff in a relatively short period of time. Dealing with little issues every morning in front of an audience. And not being able to hide from them, but just being able to accept them and move on. And this morning, not a big deal, but I was not hooked up. My show wasn't hooked. You want to start your day with frustration or your show with bad internet connection or a bunch of people talking about it lagging or this or that. So I don't know what my point is, other than I get a lot of practice dealing with little frustrations, just because this is how I start my day. If I didn't start it doing a little talk show every morning, you know, my biggest challenge might be I made the coffee too weak or too strong. And so it gives me a lot of practice at doing some things. And I think it's good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is Thursday morning. It is 11th. Again, I want to give a shout out to my dad, who's turning 85 this morning. He lives down in Texas, near my brother Scott. And I hope he's having a wonderful start to his morning, or hope he's sleeping, or if he's awake, I hope he's got plenty of hot coffee or people to talk to, or I don't know if he's been watching Fox News, all the Fox News he wants to watch. I hope he has a glorious day. Happy birthday, Dad. I love you. But anyway, again, it is Thursday morning at 6:45 a.m. It is December 11th. Happy Thursday. A show about me talking. It is a show about me sharing some feelings, kind of sharing a little bit about the ups and downs we have in life, kind of sharing the challenges that one man faces as he navigates his life. And, but also talking about some of the successes he has as well, kind of the ups and downs. But for those that have been watching a while, you know it is not just a show about me talking. You know it is also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I got a nice hot cup of it. And I am so excited to have my first sip at this, for me, fairly late hour. My hope is wherever you are, and whatever you're doing, that you got a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. The pumpkin spice. Can I have another cup before I talk about it anymore? I had bought the peppermint mocha over the couple days ago and tried it yesterday. But the pumpkin spice is really nice. And it could be hard to say it's not my favorite coffee the rest of my life. Might be the Sumatra. Got big piles of snow out there. Not huge. The parking lot's gotten plowed off several times this year, and we kind of have along the sidewalks maybe 1.5 feet of snow along the edges each way. And if you're walking through downtown, let's get back to the fireplace. There's some spots in the path that are going to be a little hard to cross, or you'll be walking through the street and head into the Y as was yesterday, and you're looking for, excuse me. Oh, well, thank you for seeing me again. Somebody said it's great to see me again. Super chill versus supper chill. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Oh, you're just questioning the spelling of super and supper? We have a brother Ken that hopped on and it saluted me as morning brother. I mean, are you talking like brother in the kind of just friendly sense that, or some male bonding sort of way, like all of us are brothers? Or are you talking about extremely unimaginative parents that named siblings the same name? It's like George Foreman. Dad, why'd you also name my 2 older brothers Ken? My little sister got her own name. She wasn't named Ken. It'd be a weird name for a girl. But how come the first 3 of us are all named Ken? It's so dang confusing. Anything I'm hoping to get for Christmas this year? To feel contentment on Christmas. It might be a little challenging for me. I doubt I'm going to see my 2 little ones. Might even be difficult to see my 2 older girls. I'd love to see them, but I'm not going to hang all my happiness on that because it's almost out of my control at this point. That'd be a perfect situation, but I don't want to put my happiness on that. So I'm hoping to just have gotten pretty good at kind of accepting the world as it is, and being okay. No, my brothers aren't really named Ken, but I had a viewer named Brother Ken who called me brother. It's kind of a joke I was running with. Apparently, either you, if I gotta explain the joke, it can't be that good of one. I look like the founder of Koenig. Huh. On a Packers blanket for Christmas. I've already got a placard. Up. I wonder why that is. Julie, are you having internet problems? Wonder why that is. Huh. I tried the wireless. Huh. And then I tried to do a coffee with Ken today. Maybe that's the message. Because it's Huh. Well, I don't know what to do about that. What do I do about that? Hmm. I've tried connecting to the wireless. I'm now going through my phone. Hmm. What do I do? What do I do? People hop on and ask me about Folgers coffee a lot. Maybe it's God wanting me not uh, to do wireless. Could that be? I would say if I was looking down and I tried the wireless connection, because it's just frustrating me. I don't need to be frustrated. But I tried the wireless connection, and now I'm not even talking to you, so I'm not looking for any answers. Maybe I'm not supposed to do my show today. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm not supposed to do my show today. I hear it's cold out. I wonder how cold it is. See smoke coming out of the chimneys across the way, blowing horizontally to the right. Must have a big wind. Is it below zero? Is it below zero? Huh. Well, Tanner, thank you. So talking to you right now is negatively impacting me. Do you understand that? And yes, I want to spread the word of sobriety or mental health or feeling okay or doing your best or continuing to move forward. But I also think by me doing this, it's threatening my inner peace. And I don't want my inner peace threatened. Because I could sit here and enjoy my candlelight, my coffee, my lamp, my relaxing mood, and really not worry about the internet connection at all. And I wonder what the net result. Huh. 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 Oh. No, I'm not angry at all. Somebody said I look angry. I'm not angry at all, but I'm just wondering. Uh, if there is a net weight on one, their energy, if you will. I was reading sometime about Robin Williams, a comedian who I think gave every bit of good vibes to the world and didn't keep enough for him, and ended up taking his life about 10 years ago, which is really sad because I think he touched a lot of people. And I almost think, I think there's a weight from doing this. And again, just having a bunch of people hop on, talk about the, okay, hold on here. AJ hopped on and said, your positivity, honesty about your testimony, overcoming the odds, and chasing your dreams. Thank you for sharing openly. It pushes me to strive for greatness. Thank you again. Yeah, no, I'm drinking a nice cup of coffee, worrying about an internet connection so you guys can watch me. You know? I mean, I'm not overly worried about it, but I'm just going, okay, well, got a bunch of people saying random stuff. To be honest, it's a lot of times noise. When you love the world, but the world doesn't love back, oh, the world loves back. The world loves back. It's a beautiful day. The sun is rising. The snow is white. My fireplace is crackling. My gym awaits. But when you throw yourself out there in front of a large audience, not even a large audience, any audience, I think you're exposing yourself just to stuff that maybe isn't healthy to expose to. What is healthy? What is healthy? Huh. The feeling you get when you're in bed and you're calm and you're at peace and the covers feel good on your back. Drinking that first sip of coffee and being thankful. Playing in the snow. Smiling at people at church. Going to the gym, saying hi to some people and getting a good workout. Those things are all healthy. But dealing with internet and trying to please 43 people watching or trying to entertain or caring about your level of entertainment isn't probably healthy. is what I'd say. Because a lot of times I'll post videos and somebody will need to verbalize like their disagreement on something. You know, I'd like to say, hey, maybe this video just wasn't for you. Let me get a little more coffee. Hassan said, good morning from the other side of the world. What side of the, where are you, Hassan, from the other side of the world? And AJ, thank you so much. Appreciate it. The world does love back. And if you're not seeing the world love back, you're looking at the wrong place. And you're hanging with the wrong people. And you're getting more negative feedback than you need. Good morning, Dennis. How are you? You're from Dubai. That is interesting. From Dubai. Huh. 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 I'm gonna get a little coffee. I'm not gonna entertain you guys at all. I'm not gonna give a crap if your internet's glitchy or not. Deal with it. That's, I guess, what I think I need to think. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's not the Colombian coffee. It is the pumpkin spice from Starbucks. But thank you for asking. I don't know how often I drink Colombian coffee. I rarely do. I think Colombian coffee to me just tastes like coffee. I couldn't distinguish it from other coffee. Am I done with my first cup? I just finished it. So yes, I am. Somebody says science, freedom, and justice. Many things are out of a person's control. But my first instinct when people are talking about the internet glitching is to fix it and make it better and feel like I'm not giving a good show or that this day matters more than yesterday or the day before, or trying to build my subscribers or trying to do the right thing. And all my effort at fixing the internet or making you guys laugh or smile is probably just needless pressure on myself. Because you guys laughing and smiling and not worrying about the internet is on you. And me caring about the signal isn't on me. You know, I'd like my show to be great every day, but maybe it doesn't have to be. Somebody said Cuban coffee is good, no doubt. Somebody can send me some Black Cat coffee straight from the mountains of Bucaramanga, Colombia, and give you the freshest cup you've ever had. How much better would the freshest cup I've ever had be than the cup I'm enjoying right now? I mean, how do you think I could tell the difference? Stuff from Starbucks is old, somebody said. You know, it doesn't necessarily make it bad. This coffee, the coffee I'm drinking is fantastic. And I don't care what mountain you send, what mountain in Colombia you send me coffee from, I'll bet you my coffee tastes better. There. So Okie grower wakes and bakes over coffee. I'll bet a bunch of people do. I'll bet a bunch of people do. Whoa, hit my lighter. Thank you. Socks on. I've got my fireplace crackling behind me, which feels so good. I was planning to go to work today. Okay, this is what I wanted to talk about. I was planning to go to work today. I worked last night and I was a bartender. The night was a little slower than they expected and they were overstaffed, so two of us went home and I go, okay, well, I'll go home because I'm going to pick up some substitute teacher gig today. And there was no substitute teaching available for me this morning. I was a little disappointed by that. I mean, part of me felt good because I could sit here and take my time, maybe go to the gym, get a good workout in. Rest going, well, they sent me home last night. I only worked a half a night and it was kind of slow. I won't make any money today because there's no work to pick up. And yesterday we had a snow day, so my work day got canceled. So I started to worry about like finances and jobs and things. 3 jobs and juggling them all and relying on them all. And I know most of my friends, a lot of my friends, probably a good chunk of my friends at least, work for companies and are employees and are high up and maybe, I don't know, CEO of something or other and probably make a great living and have benefits and fancy houses. But for me, relying on a company doesn't feel safe to me. Doesn't feel safe to me. Okay. I don't even want to ask you this. Well, first of all, if you start with, I don't even want to ask this, I have to wonder why you do. But okay, she said, I don't even want to ask that. What's the point of the TV? I mean, it's not the same thing. Answer this. You don't see the point of the TV? Ashrin, do you not see the point of the TV? Ashrin, I'm hoping you're there. That's like saying, what's the point of a candle? It's not the same thing as a real fireplace. Well, true, it's not. It's different. But it doesn't mean it's not good. Yeah, AJ, no, it just hurt, but you really don't see the point of the TV, the crackling of the fire, or the flickering of the flames? I know it's not the same thing as a fireplace. In some ways, it's better. It requires no logs. It doesn't make any smell. And it doesn't make the house dirty. Plus, I don't have a fireplace. It's easy. It requires a couple buttons to push. Believe me, I'm a pyromaniac. I have a candle in front of me. I like fire, but I just think it's wonderful. Yeah, Schlevel, thank you for asking, Schlevel. My internet came back on yesterday. The irony of it is that What's a safe place to work if companies aren't safe? Jose, when I say that, I mean to rely on the bar I worked at last night being busy for me to make money doesn't feel safe, really. It frustrates me a little because I expected to after the day after having it canceled yesterday. And that can happen whether you're your own business. But maybe the jobs I have, I don't feel safe with. The jobs I have, I don't feel safe with. Again, I've worked at restaurants as a bartender and a waiter, and they have slow seasons or slow out. I'll tell you, the one place that was never slow was Texas Roadhouse. The job I first got when I moved to Appleton, Wisconsin, really was never slow. We were busy every night. I like that Jose Garcia is still here. And he's not complaining that I've muted him twice today. I appreciate that, Jose Garcia. I really do. Can I go back to Texas Roadhouse? I don't want to go back to Texas Roadhouse. I don't want to. I could get a job like it, but I don't want to. That's not for me. I think that's the wrong direction. I mean, I made as much money last night in my short shift as I probably would have at Texas Roadhouse. But it was just something you could count on, that it was busy every day and they desperately needed people working every day. So there was value in that. But the jobs I have now are less consistent but higher paying. And then the sub-teaching job I'm doing, feels really good when I do it. Mr. Jiggle lives next to Texas Roadhouse. He's upset that they don't allow you to throw peanuts on the floor anymore. I'm just happy I didn't work there when I had to sweep up the peanuts. That would have been a huge mess and kind of a charming thing. I could see wanting to throw the peanuts on the floor, but I think they changed that during the COVID. And on mute. Why do you think I have you on mute? Chris learned that Fort Knox is in Kentucky today, and you always thought it was in Texas. I would guess more than half. I would guess if you asked me before you commented, where is Fort Knox? He doesn't know where Fort Knox is, Chris. You felt silly when you put them on the floor because I was doing it in front of the people who had to sweep it up. Yeah, but that was part of the charm. Yeah, no, it would have been a huge mess. I can't even imagine how big of a mess it was sweeping up those peanut shells. We had to sweep up the floor anyway. I'll tell you what, it was a restaurant which tolerated more stuff on the floor than any restaurant I've worked at. But again, it was also higher volume. And for me, it was unusual because I'd go around and I'd see a straw, like a straw cover on the floor, and I'd bend over and pick it up. People would walk over it. I didn't do that. And it doesn't have the gold they advertise. Well, Jonathan says Fort Knox doesn't have the gold that they advertise. I'm not sure that Fort Knox does a lot of advertisement. Are you saying Fort Knox has no gold or doesn't have a ton of gold? I mean, they literally have tons of gold. Yeah, you don't want to, if you got a peanut allergy, you don't want to go in Texas Roadhouse. It's not a safe place for you. Am I a lover of... By the way, all right, let's throw this out there. I don't know if we have any lesbians watching, but I said to a woman, oh yeah, she's a lesbian. And she goes, shh. And I go, I didn't think it was inappropriate. I thought it was okay. Maybe it's not. But I go, wait, we're not hiding in the closet anymore. So derogatory at all? I'm wondering. I don't know. Ball Striker never heard an advertisement from Fort Knox. No. We're having a variety of conversations. We're talking about Fort Knox, lesbians, and penis shells. So when people hop onto my show and wonder, what are we talking about? You just never know which way we're going to talk, what we're going to be talking about, or anything. We talk about fireplaces, internet, cold weather, waiting tables, subbing, working out, being awesome. Cloud says, not a bad word. Oh, this is awesome. I hope you have a wonderful day or a wonderful night's sleep. What does my day hold? This is 2 days in a row. I'm going, what does my day hold? Jose was wondering about me talking safety. And again, just the fact that I'm relying on these jobs to cover my bills, I don't like the feeling, I guess was my point. Stank says, seize the day. And I love the concept, but there's also a balance between less bills. I mean, I don't have a really extravagant lifestyle. I don't go out, I don't spend a lot of money. Yeah, making less bills is a good strategy. Look into the camera and give me a purpose in life. Do I have to look into the camera? Wow, you're really demanding this morning. Normally, I might mute you on a different morning for making that request. Purpose in life. Learning to feel good with who you are, where you are, what you're doing today, while at the same time striving to be a little better tomorrow. Love and family are our purpose. Without it, you have nothing. Well, I hope it made you feel better. Yeah, because you shouldn't, even if you're not where you want to be today. And like, again, I'm a little frustrated that there was no work available for me today and that my job called me off twice yesterday, 2 different jobs. So rather than being pissed off about that, I think what's best for me is being okay with all of that and going, all right, well, that's just, I can't control that. That's just God doing his thing. But maybe I can put myself in a better position tomorrow. And that's why I was talking about not feeling safe, because I don't want to worry about the bar I'm working at being busy so I can, or not overscheduling so I can pay my bills. Days available so I can pay my bills. And I'll tell you what, nothing feels better for me work-wise than going in as a substitute. Yeah, I might make some money tonight, but it's not going to fill my bucket in terms of making me feel good about what I do. And maybe paying me some money is enough. But it'd be really neat and be able to pay your bills. And when I go in and walk in a class and have all the kids staring at me, I like that feeling. Or when I'm holding the door open, greeting kids as they're coming off the bus or getting dropped in the car line at school, I like that feeling a lot, and I'm really good at it. Yeah. If I was offered a full-time teaching position, would I take it? I don't know. I don't know. Again, I've only done it 4 days, but I think I'm really good at it, and I think I connect with kids really good. I don't know if I'd be good at high school. I figured, being me, I'd end up in high school just because, I don't know. Honestly, because I'm sexist, because I'm not a woman with that is this grammar school or elementary school teacher, or I don't look like an elementary school teacher, and that's maybe stereotyping, and maybe partially that's by doing it. Because you don't have to be a woman to be good with kids. I'm good with kids. I think a little bit that's why I struggle in careers, because I'd rather be with my kids, playing with them, than maybe trying to climb the corporate ladder. My TV is on fire. On fire. Seriously, somebody hopped on about 20 minutes ago. What's the point of that? It's not as good as a real fireplace. And they said they hated to ask me that question. I don't believe they hated to ask me that question. If they hated to ask me that question, they wouldn't have asked it. But secondly, that they can't see any value to the TV fireplace. Again, we see in life, the world is as we perceive it. And I think a lot of us look at that as relaxing, hypnotic, peaceful, calming, setting a nice mood, even providing a little light. How can you not see any value in that? Well, it's not as good as a real fireplace. Maybe, maybe not, but how can you not see any value in that? It defeats the purpose of a fireplace, but it does seem calming. Purpose of a fireplace, sad man. Like, when you use the word defeats, what do you mean? Like, why is this in battle with a fireplace? You're going to dress up as a student so you can go in my class. Well, you better be pretty short if I go into one of my typical classes. It doesn't keep warm like an actual fireplace. Okay. Vin Petrol. Oh, by the way, speaking of Vin Petrol, which is a spin-off of Vin Diesel, which you're saying because I'm bald, I went and filled up gas yesterday. And it said, pick up the handle and put it in your car. And it wouldn't go in. The gas pump wouldn't go in, fit in my gas tank. And I'm wondering, I go, I usually don't have a problem. Am I holding it at a weird angle? What's going on? Am I at a weird gas station? Is this the Twilight Zone? And I looked again, and I was using the diesel gas pump. Thank you, Joanne. I love the fireplace too. I'm very happy to have it back on. Did I accidentally pick up the green one? I don't know what color it was. It might have been green, but it was the diesel one. I don't know that it was a crazy experience, me picking up the diesel gas pump, but it was an experience. That would have been an expensive mistake. Apparently, you can't make the mistake because the gas pump, seriously, for a second, because my gas was very low, I was considering trying to just pour it, even though I wouldn't get the gas knob or the gas pump all the way in my car. I was wondering if I could just, give it a little bit just so I could get to the next gas station. Fortunately, I realized the error of my ways before I tried that. I ought to get a little more coffee. See, this is so much nicer now that I'm not worried about you guys. Again, I was doing my show this morning and everyone was telling me a great show. And then I said, what the heck? I'm just going to sit here and drink my coffee. And to hell with you guys a little bit. I can't make your day happy. I can't fix the internet. I just can drink my coffee and talk. And if I, seriously, and I mean that as some sort of inspiration to you guys as you go about your day, we don't have to entertain the world or make the world a perfect place. We just got to be okay inside. And hopefully that glow that comes from us spreads to others. But if it doesn't, it's theirs to pick up on our glow. But I was getting all bothered or stressed that my internet wasn't working. I just said, what the heck, let's just keep going. Coach Lori wants to know where I'm at. I'm at Appleton, Wisconsin, which is about 200 miles north of Chicago. I'm gonna get a little more coffee. You guys stay if you'd like. Go if you'd like. Oh. Oh. There we go. You know what I like? I like a sweatshirt on. I had just a hint of chill. I did not want a hint of chill. Yeah, you can't fix what the world has turned to. Mexico makes the fourth major government takeover by the Gen Z. People are tired of lies and the banks and politicians. Wait, is anything happening in Mexico noteworthy? Do I put milk in my coffee? No, I don't. Life after 50 is great. I think I'm more at peace now after 50 than I was any time in my life. Good morning, Narinder. Yeah, no, life after 50 is good. I would think most people would say that. Black coffee, yes. Yes. Occasionally I'll put cream in it, but at home I do not put cream in my coffee. So it's Thursday morning. They wouldn't have canceled school because it's below zero out. I'm a substitute teacher, I'm a bartender, and I'm a server. I have a degree in finance. I was a stockbroker. I was a realtor, but I don't do any of those things more. Now I live in Wisconsin, keep a roof over my head, talk to the phone, and enjoy my internet fireplace. I don't care if you don't like it or not. Wait, somebody just hit 52 and you're starting to go through a midlife crisis. What does it mean to be going through a midlife crisis? What's your crisis? Because I was going through a crisis all my life. I think when we hit a certain age, we just give it a name like a midlife crisis. I mean, are you out there buying a Ferrari type of midlife crisis? Are you cheating on your wife? What do you mean a midlife crisis? Yesterday, our country showed its military might by successfully capturing a Venezuelan oil tanker laden with narcotics. Okay. You're feeling your age, man, and it's bothering you. Be more specific, Ziggy. By the way, when I say the name Ziggy, I think of an elephant at the Brookfield Zoo when I was growing up named Ziggy, by the way. Well, why are you feeling your age? Like, in what way? Are you getting senile? Are you feeling more at peace, more wise? In any way more content? And how can we focus on those benefits to aging for you? We have a glorious audience today. Don't think that we don't. Don't think that we don't. I don't know why it's you're feeling your age. It's just bothering you. Well, okay. You want some other advice? I'll go in a different direction. Be okay with being a little bothered about it today. Don't become the bother. Because the bother, whatever issues you're feeling today about being your age, kind of just like this lid. Go, this is the bother about it, a little bit about your age. But don't let it become who you are. Don't let yourself be this unsatisfied, old, cantankerous dude. Because it's just a feeling and a thought, and that feeling and thought will pass. So put it over there. Then making a pivot as you get older. I've been a corporate America for too many years, hence my name, Coach. Very liberating when we follow our heart. Coach Lori, I kind of chose to follow my heart. Are you in Wisconsin, Coach Lori? I, again, was a realtor. I didn't feel like I was contributing to society in any way. I was going through a divorce with a woman that was my real estate partner, and it was very ugly. For a variety of reasons, I left real estate. And I don't know where my heart has led me, but here I am in Wisconsin, substitute teaching, bartending, and waiting tables. Too far to get in good shape and build my coffee show. So I think if we focus on the crap, there'll be just more crap in our lives. And I'm trying my best to focus on the good stuff. But I'd be curious what your experience has been. Let's see. Somebody said they wonder if I care about the freezing of my internet anymore. You can do push-ups for free. As Ziggy just said, it's a difficult time in our lives. So at this point, what I'm going to learn to do is let Ziggy feel that it's a difficult time in their life. Let Ziggy be in the midlife crisis and feel that they're feeling their age and not feel any need to save or fix or change Ziggy. Not even care about Ziggy, which is really hard for me, and it's something I'm learning. Just going, okay, well, Ziggy's having a difficult time in their life. Oh. So I have my internet back. Indeed I am. Schlevel Knievel, are you still watching? If Schlevel's there, that's all I really need in life. Please tell me, Schlevel. appreciate you saying that, but how can you even see my eyes? What type of coffee am I drinking? I am drinking, I'm going to drink the whole pot. And I may. Got about a third of a pot left. I'm not going to worry about it. Does look kind of chilly out there. You can imagine my head. I don't know what you mean. My TV is on fire. Thank you for alerting me. Somebody call 911. My TV is on fire. English tea, explore, do good tea. What does that mean? Oh, that's nice. Do realtors get a 401k? No, they don't get a 401k. I mean, maybe there's some real estate companies that do provide benefits, but you are a, what is it called, a W-9 employer? Is it a 10-9? I forget the term, W-9 employee. They don't get a 401k or any retirement. There are companies that do, I think like EXP will give you, you can buy stock at a discounted rate. But there's no like retirement plan or benefits to being a realtor. Where am I streaming from? I'm from Wisconsin. 1099, independent contractor. Hello, Coach Lori. Are you in Wisconsin, Coach Lori? Or are you just a Packers fan? Do realtors receive credit for Social Security? I don't even know what that question means, Peter. This is nice beer and cheese. Oh, you're from Huntington Beach. Huntington Beach is cool. I wonder what made you a Packers fan living in California. I'll bet you didn't grow up in California. Not many people from that area really grew up there, I wouldn't think. Do I have money in the stock market? I do not have any money in the stock market at this time. You've been putting money in the S&P 500. Well, you're making a lot of money because it goes up every day. I talked about it a little bit yesterday. I had some young people on and we're wondering about the housing situation and saying that housing in America is not about how bad, that despite Trump saying everything's great in the economy, that they saw that housing prices were actually getting a little bit cheaper in America over the last few months. And I was a little confused by that because it seems, and I think we instinctively look at housing affordability. We never look at the fact that an easy way to make houses more affordable is by dropping the prices of the houses. I think we think interest rates should come down or our income should magically go up. But really, the quickest way to make housing more affordable is have housing prices go down. And Jose, you brought up the S&P 500. One thing that's a consistent concern of mine in the market, and I think I'd feel more optimistic about the economy if I just had been in the finance game for long enough to realize things don't go up forever and there's a point where there's got to be some pain. And right now, if you've bought stocks in the last ever, you're doing great on it. I'm going to split. It was very nice to talk to you and have. Well, Ziggy, you enjoy your day. Keep smiling, buddy. Homeowner taxes. You mean property taxes? Property taxes pay for public education. And there is not so I don't think we can cut property taxes. I know they go to a bunch of different places, but I think the biggest chunk of property taxes teachers' salaries. And so I just don't think they're going to ever drop property taxes. Am I upset I didn't sock some money in the market a decade ago? No. No, not at all. A decade ago, I might have had put money in the market, but no. Not even slightly. I mean, I didn't have any money to put in the market. I'm not really upset about much, Peter Bean. I think that's what frustrates people about me. I mean, I was living in my car a year ago, but I didn't have AI. How do I use it? I'm scared of AI. I use it. Okay, I had my nephew send me a report he wrote about Rome, and I was wondering how much he used AI to write the report. Because, to be honest, reading it I found a little challenging because it didn't seem like the words that a college student would write. And I'm wondering how much he used AI to create the report. I do not know. But how do I use it? I just started to. There's two ways I use it. I use it when I want to change my resume or write a cover letter for a job application, which I've done a bunch. And I recently started using it to create thumbnails for my YouTube videos. And if you look at my various videos I post on YouTube, a lot of times I'll have AI create a thumbnail, which is kind of the image that you see when you scroll through my videos. So that's how I use it right now. You believe we have a retirement crisis. Retirement crisis, aging, and job opportunities. Yeah, I don't know what that means. But I'd like to dig in deeper if you want. Property tax cut. Okay, you're bringing up another topic. The government has any know-how or ability to spend less money. Cut taxes. I just don't think they know how to spend less money. I don't think it's in a lot of their best interest to spend less money. If they budget $10 billion, let's say, for road construction in the United States, and I'm making this up, and you're running the road construction division of the government, and you only need to spend $5 billion this year, you're going to find a way to spend $10 billion because you wouldn't want them cutting the budget for next year. I don't think there's any incentive in the government to be better or to do better. And I kind of feel that way about big corporations as well. So I don't think there's a chance that it came out, but I haven't heard anything about it. We had Elon Musk running around with a chainsaw, and who's the guy? I kind of like him, actually. He's Indian ethnicity, but he's a conservative politician. I'm wondering what happened to it. Where did it go? Where did it go? Lotto money in Illinois was supposed to go to schools, and schools have gotten worse since. Yeah. Well, the government does a lot of stupid things. In Chicago, I don't know if anyone's from Chicago, they used to have free parking. You could park on the streets almost anywhere, But Chicago, as most government, was way behind on their bills. And they sold the rights for like 100 years to a parking meter company for a few $1 billion. Sounded good at the time, they needed a few billion. But I think it's going to be one of the worst decisions in history. And this parking meter company is going to get, hundreds fold. Stank said, most of the cuts just led to more spending because they were done with no real analysis. Coach Lord, go get yourself another cup of coffee. How does my morning routine look on a good day? I don't know what you mean by that. But you're right, Stank. I just don't think the government can run very well. And I almost think, rather than bitch and moan, the best strategy is to take advantage of the bad running government and to get government contracts and to go into business where you get government contracts. Because nobody, if you are in charge of giving out government contracts, it's not your money, so how much do you really care? All right. Do I see the dollar crash in a couple of years like whole inflation and ever gets cheaper, you can afford things like my grandparents? I don't know what the dollar crash means. I can't afford things like my grandparents. I mean, my grandpa worked really hard, both my grandpas. One was a farmer in central Illinois, and one was a coal miner in Scotland. And I don't think either of them lived, super grand lives. I think the needs and the wants of humans were different 100 years ago or 80 years ago. And I don't think that he probably had a one-car family. It was a one-car family. Thank you for the happy vibes. What do I think of the Sharon Moore scandal? I don't know who Sharon Moore is. So I think nothing of the scandal. Oh, it's nice. It's a little bit of lemonade, ice cube with some water around it. Gives me a little something special. So anyway, it is Thursday morning. It's about 8 o'clock. Wait, hold on here. Exactly on needs and wants. My parents and grandparents lived very simply. Tiny houses, no TV or one TV. Dining out was an extra extravagance done once a year. Yes, certainly our spending habits. We just expect money to fall from the skies. Yeah, we expect it. And to be able to get the newest car and the fanciest cell phone and the most expensive jeans and we do dumb things today that our grandparents did. Are the Feds gonna drop the rate today? 420, why? Are you really worried if the Feds are gonna drop the rate? Are you making conversation? And if you are, that's fine. But I'm just curious if you're really worried if the Feds are gonna drop the rate today and how that will impact you. 100 square foot small house and never eating out. Not to mention working as a farmer or a coal miner. Holy crap. I mean, neither of my grandmas probably worked, which might be an ideal situation. Okay, your nephews and nieces want to buy houses. They possibly care about what the Fed does with interest rates today because your nieces and nephews may want to buy houses? I mean, if so, you are so in tune with your nephews and nieces maybe want to purchase a house that you have any concern with whether the Fed will cut interest rates today, which barely doesn't really impact mortgage rates anyway. I'm just surprised. Good morning, Broken Meteor. Cheaper to buy a home tomorrow, no matter what the Fed. Me Bold Guy, how are you? What coffee am I drinking? I'm drinking the Starbucks Pumpkin Spice. Wouldn't it be better to purchase a house under 3% or 8%? But my point is, are you really that in tune with your nieces and nephews want to purchase a home? I just don't believe it. You know, I have nieces and nephews that may want to buy a home, but I'm not sitting on the edge wondering what the Fed's going to do with interest rates today, because it may or may not impact my nieces and nephews' possible desire to buy a home. Oh, Heimbach, I'm sorry about that. Let's see. Your son, in his 20s, was able to buy a house on his own. He lived in a shared living situation for 6 years while stacking cash. Well, good for him, Captain Careful. He made some hard choices and is able to buy a home. Yeah. Oh, that's nice. That is nice. Good morning from Alaska. How are you today? How are you today? I might get another cup of coffee. I was planning to go to work today, but there was no work for me. I was working last night. They sent me home early. It's got me thinking a little bit. Is there a question caption where I can just put answers to question? Good morning from Jacksonville, Florida. I am doing well this morning. There's a good morning, Jim Rat. How are you? It has been a glorious audience, Jim Rat. Weather might have kept customers indoors, hence no work. That is true. Certainly, they kept students indoors yesterday. Yeah. Coach Lori is rocking her second cup of coffee. Coach Lori from Huntington Beach, the surfer on her back of Brett Favre. And she surfs gnarly waves in Huntington Beach. Oh, Alaska. Is that -17 Fahrenheit or Celsius? I wonder. I'm gonna get a little coffee. Hold on. Oh. Jim Rat, you might be disappointed by my show and my audience today. I got on, everyone was saying it's glitching, my signal wasn't coming through. I tried to fix it, I started over, and they were saying it was still glitching. So I said, what the heck? I guess I'm not going to care about my show or my audience today. And I'm just going to sit and drink some coffee. Because I can't give feels about his midlife crisis or about what football team Coach Lori, the surfer chick from Huntington Beach, cheers for. So I'm just not going to worry about it at all. Good morning, Scott. How are you? Uh, 420, been your general contractor your whole life. Yeah, but you still. Okay. I just don't believe your explanation for wanting to know if the Fed is going to cut interest rates because your nieces and nephews may want to buy a house. Myself, whether the Fed cuts interest rates or not. So for you to be so invested in your nieces and nephews' possible purchase of a house to the point it has you wondering about interest rate surprises me. Hello, Renata, how are you? How are you? It's becoming a glorious audience. Am I from Agartha? No, I've never heard of Agartha, and I've never been to Agartha. Or it's possible I've been to Agartha and I did not know I was there because I'd never heard of it. But I know I am not from a place called Agartha. Well, Coach Lori, I think you're going to like my show. This one might be have a little more bite because early on I had to decide I don't give a dang. Because I was trying to please you and solve your internet issues. Oh. All right, 420 somewhere. We'll put this one to bed. Yes, I think the Fed's going to cut interest rates today. And I also think that won't impact my life at all. That's what I think. I think worrying about what the Fed does, and everyone predicts it in advance, and it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. I just don't think it matters. I'm not worrying about a damn thing today. Least of all what the Fed does with interest rates. Coach Lori, have you subscribed to my channel? No fair getting all this glorious content today. And not subscribing to my channel, Coach Lori. You are watching one of the fastest growing channels in the history of. Do you know how I know that? Do you know how I know this is one of the fastest growing channels in the history of YouTube? Somebody said when government prints more money, grocery prices will go up. Yes. I've talked about I didn't see prices of things going up much at the grocery store, and honestly, I don't think they have. But one thing that has gotten a lot more expensive, or possibly is more expensive in Wisconsin, is deli meat. Like I go through and I used to be able to find, and this might have been 4 or 5 years ago, but like a pound of Crackus ham for like $3.99 or $4.99. And that just seems too expensive. To me, that would bum me out. I'd make a ham sandwich and I'd be calculating, well, each slice is 80 cents. I can't afford a ham sandwich. Well, Coach Lori, I'm glad you subscribed, because you just subscribed to one of the fastest growing, most valuable shows in the history of YouTube. Oh, yes, we have more than 10,100 subscribers. Oh, yes. I did a video the other day where I was walking in the snow in Appleton, Wisconsin. And that video alone picked up 36 subscribers. The content is so, says, I'm blessed. You only eat meat from animals you harvest. I haven't bought meat from the store in 15 years. Pure Alaska, have you ever eaten moose? What do I think about 44-year-old Philip Rivers on the practice squad of the Indianapolis Colts? I didn't know that he was. Do they need a quarterback? You eat. I actually choked on it. I have an issue with my esophagus. I think it's a little too small or tight. And when I don't thoroughly chew my meat, sometimes I'll get meat stuck in my esophagus, which is scary as hell because you can breathe and talk, which is important, most important to be able to breathe. But if the meat is stuck in your esophagus, you can't swallow. And if you try and drink water to push it down, it doesn't go and you end up just filling up with water and you start gagging. But anyway, I found the taste of moose means moose meat. I'm often too busy, so I have to cut letters out of the words I use. So hereforth, when I talk about moose meat, I'm just going to call it moot to save time. When I ate moot, I found it not that good tasting and very tough. I was sitting there going, rah, 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 rah. And my jaws started getting tired, so I tried to swallow it, and it got stuck in my esophagus. I didn't like that. You knew a guy that went to 2 hospitals to unclog his... Apparently, I've done some research, and it's true. That people have issues with it. It's not just meat. Moose meat is really high in protein. Yeah, but so is cottage cheese, and I don't have to chew it for half an hour. Chewing 33 times before swallowing is the recommendation. I think I burn more calories chewing than I would take in by eating the food. If you had access, you'd eat elk. I'll tell you what, you would have loved being in Yellowstone where I worked last year. I had elk come up to, watch out. There were elk in the parking lot. In which country? You need to be more specific before coming on my show, right, Coach Lori, and say, in which country? I don't know how to answer that. I don't know what you mean. Pure Alaska says, it's how the meat is handled and prepped makes all the difference. Well, I think the guy that cooked the moose, the moot, knew what he was doing, but it was still tough. AJ, $1.99 up here. That was from AJ. AJ's sweet. Venison and all hoof grass eaters are tasty. Yeah, right. Which country what? Do my cousins live? Scotland. Do lions live? Namibia. Get the most shark attacks? Australia. You can't hop on my country and just say, in which country? Or on my show and say, in which country? And expect me to give you a good answer. I was not reading your comments. I was probably reading your comments. If I don't address your comments, either I miss them or they didn't seem that important to me. I'm not going to choke. I'm not eating any moose meat today. And guy up there in Alaska, I'm betting no matter how you prep, your moose. By the way, I feel a little bad killing a moose. It seems like a grand creature. But maybe up in Alaska, you've got plenty of moose, so you're okay eating them. Somebody says bison tastes amazing. Okay, here's my thought. And I don't know how many of you have actually done this, because I did. I did a taste test. I had a bison burger and a cow burger, and I did a head-to-head, and I preferred cow. Granted, I've spent my life eating cow burgers and not a lifetime eating meat from a bison. But being that I was living in Yellowstone and there's bison running all over, I had the opportunity to do a head-to-head taste test and found out I preferred the taste of cow. Wait a minute, hold on. Oh. Well, Namibia is mostly desert. Well, does Namibia have lions? It was a country in Africa. Are there lions that live in Namibia? I need to know, Ball Striker, my fact checker. Would I date a foreigner that needs a green card? Have you been here the whole time, Julie Flanagan? Or do you just come and go as you please? I should make you check in. At least, yeah, I think you guys should have to check in. Again, I'm a little annoyed with you guys because you were stressing me out this morning because I was trying to please you with my internet. And then I said, what the heck? I'm not going to. You come and go. Well, Julie, I expect text from now on. Hey, Ken, I'm going to hop on your show. Hey, Ken, this is boring the crap out of me, all this banter about Coach Lori in Huntington Beach and her Brett Favre tattoo on her back. And that dude asking about it. Snoozer content. Is the cheese really good in Wisconsin? I feel like offending people around the world by doing something. In Wisconsin, and in all you little fancy hoity-toity countries. There are 11 lions in Namibia. There's not 11 lions in Namibia. How would there only be 11? Okay, you say Kenya, South Africa would have been more accurate answers. Do I have any tattoos? No. Personally, I don't understand. Okay, I was talking to this gorgeous woman the other day, and she had this big tattoo up her arm. She was absolutely smoking hot. Oh, and somebody asked me earlier if I would date a foreigner that wanted a green card. And I wanted to say, is she hot? But I didn't want to offend you ladies and be called a misogynist. But that's what I wanted to say. I eat a lion in Namibia. If I did, I'd be in trouble. Apparently, there's only 11. I would have taken out 9% of the population. 420 says no tats here. You don't have any tats because you're too concerned about interest rates, 420. Do you like Rocky Mountain oysters? Oh, I've eaten a Rocky Mountain oyster. Oh, I have. No wonder I have a great show, a glorious show, one of the fastest growing shows. Yeah, I've eaten Rocky Mountain oysters. Do I like them? Well, they're deep fried, at least the ones I ate. Do I like them? No. I was sitting there chewing going, oh my God, these are bull testicles. Oh, if they're prepared properly, yeah, they're lovely, just like moose. Christian Bale. Christian Bale's pretty cool. He does a great American accent, by the way. Wow, we got a glorious audience. Jim Rat, Scott Baran, where are my dudes that hop on and cheer on the audience? Have a great day, Coach Laurie. I don't look like Christian Bale. I wish I looked like Christian Bale. He's quite handsome. Artificial. No, it's a majestic palm. And before Ball Striker corrects me, it's native of Madagascar and grows along the sides of rivers in Madagascar, a country in Africa. It's kind of in Africa. It's an island off the southeast. And it grows to 15 to 20 feet in the river, on riverbeds along the side of rivers in Africa, or in Madagascar. Where else do you get such quality content? You're away from your phone. You love houseplants? How do I deal with not having the family with me? Well, I FaceTime each of my kids every day. I text on others. But I know I'm doing the right thing. I know I'm doing what I need to do. And I'll just tell you, as a twice divorced dad, you're going to face challenges that I didn't anticipate. And you have to have a roof over yourself to provide best. Somebody likes houseplants. Somebody likes houseplants. Wow, this turned into, I wonder if this is a good show at all. Or houseplants. All right, well, I'll give you a tour of my houseplants. I'm gonna start with the least interesting one, but probably the one with the best story. Whoa. Oh, by the way, do you see that painting up there? I know a famous artist, and one day it's going to be worth millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. Oh, let's get a zoom in. It says Coffee with Ken. Cheers. But back to my houseplant. Yes, I know it looks sickly, but I thought all the way down and broke off all the sticks and dying thing on the top. And I'm pleasantly surprised that we have some fresh leaves growing out of the sticks. That was a yellow rose bush. It wasn't planned as a house plant. Whoa, hey, come on back. Where are you going? Where are you going? It wasn't ever expected to be a house plant, but I bought it at a grocery store. And the reason it's named Erin is because I had my two older girls up with me for Father's Day, and we went out and I wanted to get a couple house plants, and told them to pick one out each, and I named it after them. If you were wondering why it looks like I have a fishing rod in the Monstera, it's because I do have a fishing rod. I was told it needs like a climbing pole, but I'll tell you what, the Monstera couldn't care less about it as a climbing stick. Here I will bring you to my hibiscus that is named Morgie. It's not looking so pretty today, but that's because I think at this time of year, it kind of is dormant and doesn't flower. But I will tell you what, in May, June, July, maybe August, September, it sprouts gorgeous, gorgeous flowers on a daily basis. And finally, I would like to show you my majestic palm. I'm sure you guys want to know. Again, if you don't remember, it is native to Madagascar, grows along riverbeds, and in its native environment, grows to 15 to 20 feet. Right now, I'd say this bad boy is about 4.5 feet tall, and I live in a building with 12-foot ceilings. So I'm wondering just how tall this is back. It was quite frustrating. So today, I'm going to pop you over here. My hope was I was going to work as a substitute teacher. But they did not need me this morning. There was no openings, no availability. So there is the cold day here in Appleton, Wisconsin. And here, I'm gonna pop a squat down on my chair, back with you guys. Oh, because I don't have a whole heck of a lot to do right now. I'm probably gonna find my way to the gym in a little bit and get huge, get massive. I've worked out the last couple days, feels really good. Okay, well, thank you. It was really a pretty video. Snow is coming down hard. My head is harder. I don't know what that means. So it's Thursday morning. We've talked for about 2 hours. I don't know why. I think just out of spite, because my internet was breaking up. And you guys kept pointing it out, so I kind of got annoyed with you. So I go, well, what the heck? I'm just going to keep talking, whether it's good or not, and enjoy my candle. Aspiring painter or musician, content creator, poet, do it for you. Paint to your heart's content. Write whatever you want to write. Don't worry about the audience. It feels weird to say. But don't worry about feedback or what other people think of your paint, your poetry, your writing. But do it for you, and you're going to end up being successful. Prevail among the people in the coming year. Ball Striker, who's filled with statistics, mentioned that Austin, Texas has the highest urban bat population of any city in the U.S. Well, I'm kind of aware of that, so I'm going to believe you on that. I don't believe you that Namibia only has 11 lions, like 1,000. To have 11 lions seems like a strange number. But I will believe you on the bat thing, because I know there's some tunnel or cave-like thing that people wait for in a swarm in Austin, Texas. In which U.S. state would I live if I could just pick? Wisconsin. People ask questions like that, and I don't really get it, because I could just pick. Yeah. You know, I could live in another country if I really wanted to. Yeah, it'd be weird with my kids, but if I wanted to, I could live anywhere in the world, and I think we all can. So I'm surprised that, yeah, I don't know. I hope you live where you want to be living. Yeah. Do it for Scott. Smash the like. Smash the like. Views on anarchism. Anarchism? I don't know, is anarchism a thing? A Ball Striker, could you do me the job and figure out how to have the basic questions answered today? An absolutely glorious show today. Probably one of the best shows I've ever had. Certainly top 10. And I so appreciate you joining me today. I could keep talking, but I don't know if I want to. You wanted to know the name of the flowering plant. Well, that we named Morgan. If you want to know what its name really is, like it's a hibiscus. Do I miss the time when I had hair? I appreciate the question, or do I prefer being bald? I'm wondering what goes on in other people's thoughts. Like, is it a daily thought? Like, I don't miss having hair at all. Was it devastating when I started to lose my hair? Yeah. No, I was thought no woman would ever like me because I was thinning. My hair was thinning and it wasn't a good look. And I really valued my blonde hair. And it went away. And again, I think when I hear the term like worshiping false idols, I used to think it meant other gods or a golden calf or something. And I think my interpretation worshiping my hair I had, the blonde hair I had, or the beautiful wife or the fancy car. And I think if you put your value in false idols, be it your hair, the wife, or the car, you're risking your well-being because those are all fleeting. Yeah, those are my thoughts about that. Again, it's been a glorious audience. Teach today. Oh yes, I would have taught the crud out of those kids. There was no need for me to teach today. And then I got on with you fine folks, and I had internet issues. Frustrating for me for a while. So my frustration's not going to help anything. Me being frustrated that they didn't need any substitute teachers won't get me a job, and me being frustrated that the internet was glitchy won't improve the internet. So let's just rock and roll it. Let's do my show the way I want it. Let's do my day the way I want it. Let's be grateful for my coffee. Excited about my day. Thrilled that I have my internet and my TV fireplace going back on today. Grateful I have a fridge full of food. By the way, I don't know if I've mentioned it, but blueberries were cheap and delicious. They must be in season. So if you're a blueberry fan, pancakes, oh yeah, they'd be good. Hello, Marcus Franklin. How are you? How are you? I wonder what that building is across the way. A woman just walked in, like with a dog. Maybe it's... Your grandkids love blueberries. Well, that's nice. How are you on this fine morning? I'm very well, thank you. Broken Wing would have binoculars. I don't really need binoculars. I mean, it's probably 40 feet away. I saw her quite clearly walk in there. There's a balcony. It's just right there. I certainly don't need binoculars. I don't know what I'd be doing if I was, seeing who's going into the library this morning. I'm not that concerned. Mark is back in Texas. I'm calm and relaxed. Are there times in which I lose my temper and rage? Well, certainly I can get pissed off. I think most of the time I am calm and very friendly. And I've cut back on my losing temper and raging. I'm learning to say, to hell with it. And if somebody is rude to me or short with me or doesn't say good morning or, I don't know, seems kind of bitchy, I've gotten better at it. Rebecca, I read your comment. It says you have sleep apnea. I reached out and said hey to my nephew the other day, and he said he just got diagnosed with sleep apnea. So it's really sidelined him from doing some various things. And to me, I almost wanted to laugh and make it sound like, you know, you weren't diagnosed with a brain tumor. And I know, again, I just think it's something they're diagnosing the heck out of so they can treat it. But I'm wondering, I don't know. Really felt like it was sidelining my nephew's plans for the future. And I'm going, you know, maybe you shouldn't put your dreams on hold. Well, Susan said good morning. Well, hi, Susan. I'm sorry I missed your good morning. Weren't you on earlier, Susan? If I could go back in time, speak to my younger self, what would you tell him? I'd probably give him a hug and let him know that he was loved and that he mattered, and that no matter if life was challenging, that I was proud of him. And I would tell me to keep smiling. I probably wouldn't listen to me. I'd go, dude, what happened to my hair? The one thing I like about myself is my blonde hair. And again, that's where the false idols come in. I probably valued as girls thought I was cute or not, or this or that, whether I was popular. I put value into things that just didn't matter. And I think I do that a lot less these days. And I feel more content. Hello, Manuel. Is it Manuel or Manuel? Merry Christmas to you. Joshua, if you told your younger self to not start smoking cigarettes or drink, I don't think you'd listen, would you? You probably wouldn't listen. How do I imagine the afterlife? Some. Hello, Charles. I would say my thoughts on the afterlife. I'm not sure I believe in heaven or hell. I think both heaven and hell are mental states that we put ourselves in when we do or don't have faith, when we do or don't have gratitude, when we do or don't believe. Because I think life is going to beat you to a pulp if you don't have faith, if you don't have gratitude. But if you do, are crushing, and life is hell-like. And I think if you have gratitude and faith and believe things happen for a reason, life on earth is heaven-like. Somebody, and again, I want to help you, Christ for Life. Christ for Life hopped on, and I want to help him with his sales pitch. Any advice economically for a person halfway to retirement? How old are you, Mephisto? And keep in mind, I don't have any money saved for retirement. and I'm 57. So maybe you asking me about my economic advice for your thoughts on risk. If your company, if assuming you work for a company, I'd contribute to your 401k and do as much matching as you can. I think that's the best way. You appreciate my openness and candor. Well, I appreciate you for saying that. Thank you. Oh, again, that person named Christ for Life needs to work on his sales pitch. Because his sales pitch was a horrible one. And I think just because you're a Christian doesn't mean you have to have a horrible sales pitch. And that person got on typing in all capitals, saying a bunch of stuff that turned us all off. And I just think that's really dumb. Because if you want to spread the word, I don't know, make it a good word. Do I believe in God? I certainly pray to God. I certainly feel things happen for a reason, and I know my life's a lot more peaceful believing in God than not. Even in Europe, countries come up and go away kind of quickly. Like when I was a kid, I always thought, I don't know, the countries were always there, but, even like Czechoslovakia. I mean, just in my lifetime, I think that's changed from Czechoslovakia to Slovakia and the Czech Republic, and it might be called something else these days. I think a lot changes quickly. If there was a single thing I could change in my past, what would I change? I don't know. If I changed something in my past, I'd be so different than I am today. I mean, part of me wanted to answer, I wouldn't drink alcohol. Or part of me wanted to say I believe in a reason. But if I would have started that way, I wouldn't be here talking to you right now, helping people deal with their own stuff. And I think God put me on this planet to share some lessons I've learned as I walk my path and given me the ability. Somebody said, negative awesome. I find your name interesting. Negative and awesome. You personally don't believe in God. I know my life's gotten a lot easier since I started to. And else, I did get internet just yesterday. And the irony, we were having a lot of internet difficulties on my show when I first started out. I actually had to turn off my show. I actually thought about shutting down my show again because I was getting frustrated because everyone was telling me that I had internet or I was glitching. And then I realized I couldn't control the internet and I couldn't control people telling me that it was glitching. So I started ignoring you fine folk. And I've been doing my show for 131 minutes with the freedom to ignore you if I want. Yeah, well, thank you, someone else. Again, I just don't even... So you're saying it was YouTube that was glitching, Susan, is that correct? Which would make sense because I was told I was glitching on the strength, and somebody said because it's cold outside. And I just didn't understand how cold could affect the cell phone. I guess. Okay, it's YouTube. Oh. Wait, going to an artist to take you a painting would be great. You're thinking of doing this in the future. I don't know what you mean. Okay, it happens to a lot of streamers. Okay, well then it wasn't my fault. I mean, again, my fault earlier. Kind of hungry. But you know what hunger means? It means that my body is looking for food in my tummy. It is not finding any food, but it wants to be able to keep moving me forward. So it's going to find because there's nothing in the tummy. So it's probably going to go to the 5 or 10 pounds of fat that I have around my belly and start digesting it. I mean, I think he's a great actor and he's unfairly good looking. And his movies are really good. So yeah, I guess I like Brad Pitt. I didn't like the one where he was Achilles. I thought that was cheesy as heck. He's usually not in beefcake movies. Well, he's in a couple, but most of them are pretty good movies anyway. I did not like the one where he was Achilles. And how are you? How are you? You're here for my teachings. Your family and you sit around listening to my teachings every day. Well, isn't that Norman Rockwellian? You guys gather around your cell phone and sit down for the teachings of Ken. Somebody says they love Troy. No. I mean, you can love it, but I didn't. What do I teach? Well, I mean, I teach so far elementary school. I've been a substitute for 4 days. I mean, for longer, but I've only actually taught 4 days. I was going to go in yesterday, but we had a snow day. I was going to go in today, but there was no need for me. What do I teach? What does that really believe that he does? Somebody likes cactus plants because you don't really need to water them. Jacqueline, I've already said hi to you. Please don't ask me to say hi to you again. You only get one hi from me. And then you have to actually provide something. You don't have to be sorry, but just stop hopping on asking me to say hi to you. Your neediness makes me feel a little uncomfortable. Todd, I do have my Wi-Fi fixed. It was 2 very hard weeks. And I came back from work last night. I was kind of excited to watch a movie. Couldn't find a movie. And I got on my, and I found some documentary about some Jewish guy that was a mob banker during the times of Jimmy Hoffa. I forget what his name was. But either way, I fell asleep on it pretty quickly. It is a glorious show today with 68 thumbs up. I'm really having to dig deep for this show. Scott Baran and I are doing most of the heavy lifting. Julie Flanagan hops on when she wants. Schleva came on. AJ was here for a little while. Coach Lori from Huntington Beach, who has a Brett Favre tattoo on her back, come and go. Do I ever play video games? I certainly have played video games, but if you're asking, like, currently, do I play video games? No. I look like a Marine. Well, I appreciate that. I think Marines are probably fairly badass, intimidating looking dudes. So I appreciate the thought that I look badass and intimidating, but I'm a lover, not a fighter. Susan said you tried to find that fire and put it on your. You tried to find the fire to put on your TV. You're sort of implying that you weren't able to find the fire and put that. What is my financial advice to the younger generation? Okay, Susan said you couldn't. What do you mean you couldn't find it? Go to YouTube. We are on YouTube right now, so I don't have to explain to you how to go to YouTube. You're watching me live. So when you're done with my show, type in fireplace video or fireplace, and I'll bet you it will come up. I don't think the instructions are any more difficult than that, Susan. And you too will enjoy the gentle crackling diary of a CEO. No, I haven't. Oh, you looked on Roku. Susan, you don't even need to leave. Go, you're on YouTube. I'm tuned into YouTube behind me. And that is a video from YouTube of constantly streaming fireplace. And I'll tell you what, it is so nice. There's also some nice, again, you don't have to, but there's some nice Christian video. It'll just play this gentle music and have a beautiful scene and put up passages from the Bible. And sometimes I listen to that as well or watch that as well. And you can almost just sit there and meditate because it'll show like a rocking chair with a fireplace and mellow music, and occasionally they'll put up a nice Bible passage. What is my gym routine? Well, today, Cactus Queen, if you want to know specifically, I'd start at 135, bench that 10 times, go to 155, bench that 10 times, go to 175, bench that 10 times, and then go to 195 and see if I can bench that a couple times. That is what I would do. And then I would go, this is my go to the weight room, and I pick up 20-pound dumbbells, and I curl them and I push them up. And I do that 10 times. And then I go to 25 pounds and do the. And I cannot get up 30 pounds 10 times. And then I go to 30, go to do pull-ups and do as many as I can. It's usually about 1.5 to 2. And then I hold the third one for as long as I can. I do a couple sets of that. I do a little core and I do a whole lot of stretching. So that would be my gym routine, assuming I go to the gym today. Have an awesome day. AJ, thank you so much for hopping on and for your generous donation. I don't know, don't really have anything on the agenda today. I might go live this afternoon if anyone wants to join me. Part of me thinks I need to just plow ahead and continue Coffee with Ken and get to 20,000 subscribers. And no target of 20,000 subscribers is really going to get me there. But I just need to keep putting the best foot forward. And maybe the best foot forward is A, talking to you guys a long time this morning, and B, maybe going on this afternoon, issues are resolved, and I can pick up maybe 20 subscribers this afternoon. AJ gave me $1.99. I appreciate that. Maybe get people hopping on, subscribing to my channel, having it grow, building an audience. Do I swim? Not really. I don't enjoy the feeling of swimming. To me, again, I think, yeah, swimming isn't it's not intense. It's hard over time, and I just don't like the feeling of swimming. And I'm not very good at it. What is up from San Diego? How are you out there in Hey, guy from San Diego, have you subscribed to my channel yet? Just a real good guy. Have you subscribed to my channel? If not, please do. How did I start out on YouTube? 6.5 years ago, I was living in this house that was awesome. I was kind of bummed out, and I went to the gym and got a workout in. I posted on Facebook that, hey, was kind of bummed today, but I'm at the gym and feeling better. And so many people commented on that and said, "Oh, Ken, I'm sorry to hear you were bummed out or you're hurting or whatever." Reach out. I was going, hey, in my mind, I'm thinking, look, you don't have to worry about me. I was just a little bummed. So instead of just thinking that, I created a video and posted it on Facebook and said, hey guys, I just want you to know, although I have a lot of energy and a big smile most of the times, I'm a real human that feels real things and struggles. I made that comment hoping to inspire others when they're struggling to find a healthy solution and go to the gym or what have you, or maybe go to church. They just start drinking alcohol. And people loved and liked that short little video. So Saturday I go, well, let's just go live and see what happens. So I started going live every Saturday on Facebook for a while, and my audience grew, and I'd get a few thousand views on Facebook from that video. And I wasn't really sure why, and I guess it didn't even really matter why, but I apparently was A, comfortable talking live about personal stuff that most people wouldn't share, and B, had an ability to do it that connected with an audience. About 3 years later, I ended up getting separated from the woman of my dreams, who I ended up marrying and having 2 children with. And I did various videos, again, still live on Facebook, and a buddy was watching it with his daughter, and she said, wow, this is really good. He should put this content on TikTok and really grow his audience. So I switched from a weekly show on TikTok to almost every day on TikTok, and was doing that over there and building my audience nicely on TikTok. It always felt a little sleazy. They kind of encourage trolls on TikTok. Plus, it's almost like a video game almost every day. But I was a little uncomfortable there. They banned TikTok here in the States in January, and I went live on YouTube in January and been going live almost every day since that point here on YouTube. And in that period, my audience on YouTube has grown from 4,500 to just over 10,000. And that's how I did it on YouTube. Cactus Queen says, you've only heard bad things about TikTok. Well, it's a sleazy platform in a bunch of different ways. And it was weird, I'd go live on and people ask how to suck money from the audience, if you will. And there's classes about it, and they take half the money, and they encourage haters and trolls by not allowing viewers to really block bad people from your streams, because they allow those bad people and bullies new accounts. So, whether I block somebody or not, they can create another account in a matter of seconds and be right back. So anyway, I'm really enjoying, right now I think YouTube's the best platform for me. It seems consistent, fairly solid, and they have a clear path to monetizing, paying me, if you will, that's fairly easy to understand. Watch time and the more views, the more they financially reward me. And believe me, I don't do this for the money, because I currently make, I don't know, they might have sent me a check for $250 YouTube last month, and I probably put in 90 hours last month, maybe more, towards content creation. So, I might be making $3 an hour doing this or editing videos or what have you, but it's a labor of love. And I have people feel better about myself. You make me feel okay, or you got me going to church again, or reading the Bible, or turning on a fireplace, or going to the gym, or losing a little weight, or sleeping a little better. And that feels really good. to me knowing that you don't understand the majority of the talk, but this is evidence that I'm a wonderful presenter. Again, you say, presenter, I appreciate that, and I don't understand. Oh, maybe you speak a different language. I'm just talking. I have no script, I have no plan, I have no agenda or anything. I'm just me talking while drinking coffee. And kind of sharing what lessons I learned. Again, I was annoyed with you guys earlier because everyone was saying, hey, you got a bad internet connection. And I was frustrated. I was trying to solve your guys' issue with the internet connection. It turns out it's an issue with YouTube. I was trying to fix my live stream mid-show. And I just said, what the heck? Let's stop doing it. Let's stop worrying about fixing it. Let's just talk and drink coffee. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And here I am. And I've talked for 2.5 hours this morning. It's crazy. So anyway, it's Thursday morning. My plan was to be an hour and a half into my school day, teaching little ones something, that they matter and that they're important. But they did not need me today. So instead, I'm going live on YouTube for a... Okay, let's put a short-term goal. It's Thursday. By Sunday, I'd like to have 10,200 subscribers. If anybody's out there, can you see how many subscribers I currently have? Not that it over matters, but it's kind of fun to put a game or a target on subscriber growth. But if I could have 10,200 by Sunday, and those are just arbitrary numbers and dates, really mean nothing, it'd be fun. Any tips for job hunting? 10,100. Well, 10-1, I guess you wouldn't be able to get that it's 10-1-8 or something like that. You wouldn't know how many decimal points, so I appreciate it. Any tips for job hunting? That's a tough one. We'll get it on Indeed, Cactus Queen. I think you're down in Australia. Hop on Indeed and look for jobs in cities that you might want to find. Cruise around in your resume. Get on AI, on ChatGPT, and upload your resume and say, hey, improve this, make this resume a little better, and look it over and do a little bit every day. Most would say, what do I know about space? I know a little bit about space. Most would say I have a happy, successful life, though many times you feel empty in time when you self-assess. Well, first of all, don't feel alone. I think a lot of us feel empty in time, or thankful for the beautiful children we have. I don't know, we worry about their college tuition, or they're not seeing them enough. And we think we can fix it by making more money or doing various things, or having a beautiful wife, a fancy car, or a full head of hair. And the thing that gives me most faith in God or in Jesus, or that things happen for a reason. Do we really only have 19 people watching? I don't know if I've ever had. Oh, now we have 26. 26 is better. I wonder if just not many people are on today because I'm probably glitching the whole time. And despite me sitting here for 2.5 hours, pouring my heart out to you guys, you can't even hear what I'm saying. But anyway, I'm feeling a little hungry now. And again, that feels good. And I'm going to go to the gym, worry about working this afternoon. And I may go to the gym and then go to my coffee shop and edit some videos, post some videos, grow my audience, and hopefully spread a little positivity and good vibes and whatever it is that I do. What is my IQ level? I don't know. Okay, you asked. I would say between 125 and 140 is my IQ. I don't really know, but that's where I'm going to guess it falls. Anyone have any thoughts on where I put my own IQ level? I would love if we get a little more snow today. I don't think it's supposed to snow, but I really enjoyed doing that walk through town the other night when we had all the snow. I hope some of you guys watched that video, especially anyone from out of country that doesn't get snow. But it was just beautiful. I'd love to get a little more today. So maybe I'll go live this afternoon. Wonder who I'd get to hop on. Who would join, if I'd grow any subscribers, if it'd be of any value to anybody, or if it matters at all. To have consistent enough work to cover my costs, I have to find a solution. I can't bitch about my jobs because my jobs are just my jobs. And if they're not busy, they're not going to keep me staffed or compensate me financially for long in a way that I feel good about. So I need to continue kicking ass in the best way I know how. And my most consistent, it's not my highest, but my most consistent income stream is what we're watching right here. So I think the best way to accomplish that would be to sign off with you fine folks right now. Time my little ones, go to the gym, get a workout, go to the coffee shop, maybe get some tea, edit some videos. Post them online, grow my audience, build my revenue on this, and keep kicking ass. Do they cut hours fairly across the team? Sure, yeah, actually they came up and said, hey, we're a little slower than we thought tonight. 2 of us need to go home. Who should they be? And we were all kind of looking. I go, well, I'll go home. I'm hoping to work as a substitute tomorrow morning, so I don't really need to be here real late. So I volunteered to go. It had to be somebody, or 2 out of 4 of us, and I said it'd be me. So yeah, no, it's not cruel or unfair or unusual. I'm not blaming them. It was slow. We didn't need to all be there. So I felt good getting home, doing a great last night that was well received. I started with the book of Deuteronomy last night and read the first 2 chapters and found it fairly good reading relative to what I have read so far in the Old Testament. But anyway, it's Thursday morning and I am excited about my day, and I hope you are excited about your day as well. I hope you're feeling good. You are loving yourself. You are forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.